First, I'd just like to say I know my videos are a little old school looking. I do travel for work, so I'm kind of just doing this with my phone and the little background I set up. So I do apologize for that if that bothers anybody. But secondly, we are just a few weeks away, actually, like less than 2 weeks away, I think, from Election Day. And I think I'm going to say something that's going to be a little bit unpopular. And I think what I'm going to say is that I don't really see the value in voting anymore in America. This mob rule democracy that we have, it's kind of a pointless system. Our nation's run by a giant bureaucracy of unelected officials through the IRS and the FDA and the ATF and the EPA and so on and so forth. Congress is basically useless. They fight among themselves when they want to, and then when they do get along or decide to pass on legislation, it's very rarely in the good of the people in the country. And it really doesn't matter who's in power. Congress loves to give their power up to a president until it's a president they don't like, and then suddenly they take all their power back. And once again, it's usually never for the good of the people. We're being run by a political aristocracy that is bought and paid for by lobbyists. And then on top of that, I mean, every idiot can vote in our country. Your vote is canceled out by the ill-informed. It's not just the leftists. The conservative right, there's a lot of idiots on that side too. And then you have the libertarians in the middle and the Green Party and etc. Those people that do that 0.01% that vote for those. And it just is a disaster. If you go back to when the new millennium started and we all had hope in 2000, you name an issue. Name an issue. Immigration, taxes, national debt, military, spending, defense, whatever. Not one issue has gotten better since then. They're all literally 100 times worse, if not more, than what they were. You look at our school systems, you look at our highways, you look at, it's so corrupt. It's corrupt at every level. Even city councilmen at this point are corrupt and believe that they're above the law and believe that they're above reproach. And citizens are literally being arrested or thrown out of city halls for calling them out on their corruption. So I just want you to remember that as people start going to the polls. We have early voting, we have mail-in voting, things that can be easily manipulated. It is not conducive to a free society. And allowing all these incompetent, uneducated, and ill-informed people to vote, it makes it a pointless endeavor for so many of us. It makes it very cheap. And the fight right now is all about, voter ID. Well, voter ID doesn't mean anything. It's not really a check for citizenship. It's just show up, show your driver's license, show that you live in the U.S., and you get to vote. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're a citizen. In some cases, not like you're bringing in your birth certificate. So it's a very cheapened system that we have. And what comes cheap and easy is never appreciated. And I'm sorry for all of you that think that voting for one way or another is the right way. Well, it doesn't really matter. Whether Republicans have been in office or Democrats have been in office, none of it's gotten better. None of it's been improved on. Our schools are still failing. Our infrastructure is still collapsing. Immigration is many, many times worse than it has been in decades. Our national debt is 20 times more than what it was 25 years ago. Maybe not quite 20 times yet, but pretty close. So, and I don't see it being fixed, no matter who gets in. Even if Donald Trump wins, it's a Band-Aid. The long term, we're still going to keep bleeding out. The changes that need to happen to fix this country, I don't think most Americans are willing to make the sacrifices that are actually needed. That's my opinion, and that's why I see voting as pointless in modern America. It's a cheap endeavor that means nothing. It reaches out and plays only on the emotions of people and not on the logic and reason of what a true constitutional republic and a free society should be. It's an emotional play. So it's basically a cheap play. Tell me what you think. Thanks.